Hi everyone, it's Carolyn here to share another message, but this time I'm going to talk about 6 things that actually may not be well known when you're first starting your awakening journey, and I think are helpful for all of us to understand as we go through these initial stages. And even those of you who aren't in the initial stages, you're still going to see some of this, and it's good information to have. So I'm going to talk about 6 things that I thought would be useful for you to use and remember along your awakening journey today. So first of all, welcome. I'm Carolyn. I'm a spiritual awakening mentor, a distance energy healer, and a channel. And I offer this information to you as well as the Light Keeper channels that I do on many of my YouTube videos for your awakening journey and your support. So today I want to talk about 6 things. I'm going to outline them in text below and then talk about each one of them specifically. So the first one is, as you start this journey or you're in the beginning stages of it, we often have the thought that we are behind. Because one of the first things we do is we go out and we learn from others. That is a typical phase of the awakening, the learning phase. But you can get really wrapped up and anxious in, oh my gosh, I need to get going. Look where everybody else is. Look at all this stuff they're talking about that I don't understand, I haven't heard of. And then you get all knotted up. Okay, so first of all, no, you are not behind, number one. All right, you're at your own pace. You're on your own journey. There is no timeline for this. There is no you're behind. This is not a competition. Set all that human stuff aside and know that as you're moving through your journey, you're going to learn from others who are experiencing different parts of this journey. And the other thing that, it's not, I think it's not always well known, is that we will move through phases of the journey, but then we'll come back and go through some of the same phases again, but in a different way. So in many ways, it's cyclical, and yet I don't think it's as linear as we think. So just know that you are not behind. It is not a competition. When you go out to learn from others, just know you're learning about other different experiences, and don't judge yourself as you read others' experiences. Just use it for learning. Secondarily, it is a journey. The awakening is a journey. It is not a place you get to. It is not an end line. It is not a finish line. It is not you get to this place and you're done and then you have magically evolved. We in this human form are going to continue to evolve in this awakening journey, and it takes on different elements as we move forward. You go through different phases, but don't sit here and think, and it kind of is tied to the not a competition thing and that whole linear idea. It's not a place you get to, and then you sit there and you wait for everybody else to show up, or they're cheering you on to get there. That's not what it's about. It is a journey, and it's your own personal journey, and it's what you make of it. And I'm going to talk about some of those things and how you can actually make it easier and things that will assist you in that. So that's number 2. It's not a place you get to. It's a journey. Thirdly, what you're going to notice, and this one's a little more obvious, is you're going to notice physical and emotional shifts as you move forward in your awakening journey. Sometimes every day is different, but the part of this I want to mention is we are being highly impacted by the planetary systems, the solar flares, the energies coming in. I didn't understand that in the beginning at all. Just this year, it's impacted me dramatically. And I've done some videos on that, so I won't go into detail on it. But, when you get the full moon, the new moon, you get solar flares, you're going to feel these things, and you're going to physically feel different, potentially fatigued, potentially sometimes energized, headaches, those kinds of things. But know that the moon and the sun and the planets and all of it that happens is shifting and changing you and impacting you, all right? And it's all about this ascension. However, what I don't want you to have to do is what I started to do, is think I had to keep up on all of this and understand all of it. And honestly, that's not really been an interest of mine. So unless it's really an interest of yours of keeping up on all those shifts and changes, so just know that all of the interplanetary system changes, the sun, the moon, all of that, the earth, the shifting energies. You're going to be impacted by it. You might feel different every day. Just know it, that if you're feeling out of sorts, or you've got things welling up in you, you've got emotions, you've got maybe just overwhelming energy, because it's not always negative, it can actually be really positive too. Just know that that's what it is, and you don't have to get wrapped up in it, all right? So know that the sun and the moon and the stars, interplanetary system shifts and changes are going to impact your body, all right? So that's number 3. So number 4 is there is no one purpose for you. There are so many of us that think that once we awaken, I need to find out my purpose. What's that one thing I'm here to do? Nuh-uh. So what they've done is that lightkeepers have come in and said to me to answer this question, purpose is as purpose does. Everything we do has purpose. Everything that we choose to do has purpose. Yes, some people, we're going to go out and we're going to find a thing we want to do and build out on that, because that's amazing to be able to do that, right? But again, not everybody doesn't do just one thing. We're always doing multiple things that have to do with this awakening. What I've always told people too is just the mere fact that you are working on yourself and making yourself a better person, understanding who you are, peeling off those layers that we've built up over humankind's incarnations, and sharing your light and love with other people just by being around them and being kind. Oh my gosh, that is so important. But again, remember, purpose is as purpose does. Don't get hung up and tight, because remember, this is all about not creating this tight energy around things that we as humans really, ponder a whole lot about. Purpose is as purpose does every single day. You may find something that sparks a great desire in you to move forward and create out of. Fantastic, go do it. But it also means you might shift down the road. You may not do that one thing forever. So just let it go. That whole idea of a purpose, all right? Just let it go and enjoy this journey and just keep working on yourself and sharing your light and love with others. So that's number 4. So number 5 is tied to what I talked about, emotional and physical earlier, but it's really the physical body. And we often in humankind discount the importance of our body. All right, in the awakening, you get rattled wide open. Lots of us gain weight, lots of us have other things happen. We start noticing odd things occurring with our body. Well, guess what? That's the vessel in which we travel this journey. We don't really think about that. Our soul inhabits our body. How else are we going to have a human life without this body? It's here to offer us this opportunity. So taking care of it in the best way you can possible, drinking plenty of water, getting exercise, whatever that means for you on a daily basis, nature walks, getting out in nature, taking care of your emotional and mental health, taking quiet time for yourself, meditating, treating yourself with kindness, and treating the body as a consciousness, because it is. It will listen to you. It hears us. Many things that happen in our human body, we do not understand that it's because of how we treat ourselves. So start looking at the physical body as a consciousness and start treating it in the manner that you would want to be treated if you were flipped around and you were the body, in essence. How would you want to be treated? You want to be fed well. You want to have plenty of water. You want to have movement. Your body wants movement. That's what it's here for. You want to be kind to it. So just know the physical body, through a myriad of things that you do on a daily basis, and most of them are pretty common sense. We kind of know what we should do to help ourselves, but we have to be made consciously aware often and start looking at our habits. Again, I also want to mention meditation, because I do believe some kind of quietude, solitude for yourself is extremely important, also for our physical body. So that's number 5. And lastly, balance. Okay, so we don't think about this, particularly those of us in westernized societies. We have been racing at jobs, racing for the almighty dollar or whatever currency it is that is yours, forcing our way through things, working hard, always thinking in the future, putting in so many hours that we have become a shadow of our former self. So that whole westernized way of thinking we can only achieve in that manner, it becomes about balance in the awakening. And I could do a whole video just on this with my experiences. So what will start to happen to you in the awakening, you're going to know. You're going to start feeling like, I don't want to do all that anymore, whatever all that is, whether it's that job you're in, working all those hours, whatever it is. you're going to want to find more balance because your higher self is guiding you in that direction. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to be having this human life that you've had all along, and now your higher self is coming up and saying, no more, no more. So you're going to start finding that balance of life. You're going to, and I've struggled with this one so much, where even with this little business that I have, Purple Rain Healing, that you're aware of, I have worked, and I forced a lot, and I was getting way ahead with videos and doing all those kinds of things. No, it's about working in the moment, and now things flow. I went through a crisis period where I didn't understand that. I thought I had balance. I didn't have balance at all. And so now I am working more in the moment. I'm cranking out my videos in the moment. I'm doing my channels in the moment. And I'm having more balance doing other things in my life that I care about and wish to do. This will always be a struggle for me. But my point for you guys starting out is take a deep breath, step back from your life and say, where am I out of balance? Do I even know what that means? Am I that far out of balance? Because it means it's time for yourself, time for fun things, time for family and friends, not just working hard every single minute of the day and then finding yourself with no joy in life. The awakening will not allow that. So these are 6 things that I offer you today that you may not have fully thought about in your awakening journey, particularly if you're just coming into this journey, that you'll want to keep conscious recognition of as you move forward. So with that, I want to thank you so much for joining me today and to remind you to check out my services on purplerainhealing.com. And if you're interested, just reach out to me on the contact button. I will be in touch with you. I would absolutely love to work with you in any of my services, distance energy healing, channeling, or spiritual awakening mentoring. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.